Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new Halacha for you, and it's for Monday, 25th day of July, 19th of Tamuz. Here we go. During the 9 days, which are, less than 2 weeks away now, if a person is sick or weak, then and they need to eat meat to keep up their strength and health, and they are going to be allowed to eat meat or chicken during the 9 days if they are sick and or weak and they need that for their health. Same thing will be true with a pregnant or nursing mother who finds that they will, only be able to keep up their strength properly if they eat meat. So they are allowed to eat meat if necessary during the 9 days. If you can get by with eating chicken instead of meat to take care of these problems, and that would still be better because chicken is somewhat in considered a lesser category of meat. For all other purposes, we consider chicken like meat. But, for a purpose like this, when we're saying that you're weak and you need to eat some form of meat, it would be better to make it chicken rather than beef, if possible. And then Rav Moshe was orally known to have said, I don't think you'll find this in writing anywhere, but he had told people that from the seventh day and on of the 9 days, it's best to try, even for those people, if possible, to stop eating all forms of meat after the seventh, from the 7th of Av until the end of the fast, and that half day afterwards, which we'll discuss later. Children also should be trained to try to eat no meat during the 9 days, unless, of course, there's an illness and they need to, but otherwise children should be trained in the same thing that the adults are doing, which is no meat during the 9 days. Now, if there's someone's making a siyum, that's completing a great piece of learning, then yes, they are allowed to have meat at that siyum, the suda of mitzvah for that siyum. What would be considered a siyum would be something this large, like finishing a tractate of Talmud, like a masechta, like the Masechta of Brachos. I picked a long one there, but something like that. Or a seder of Mishnayos, a whole order of Mishnayos. Or, this is possibly in some ways the easiest, and that is a book of Tanakh. Like you could do the whole book of Bereshis, but not just read it. It would have to be studied well with one of the commentaries, like Bereshis with all the Rashis, or Bereshis with all of the Rambans. That too could be considered a siyum. I called it easy. It's not really easy. It's still work. But one of those things would be enough to qualify you for a Sudas Mitzvah, at which you would be allowed to have meat during the 9 days. You can invite your friends, relatives, and neighbors to a siyum like that, and they can join with you, even if they didn't learn it with you. If you actually finish that Masechta months before the 9 days and you save the last line for the 9 days, that's not really so proper. Same thing as if you really, by natural order of things, will end up finishing that Masechta sometime in, November, but you just speed up like crazy the last 20 blot and you just read them very fast, that's also not considered so appropriate because then you're really just jamming it almost artificially into the 9 days. And lastly, there is some trick out there that I've heard that restaurants use, and that is they invite a person to make a siyum in their meat restaurant, and then they tell him that his meal will be free, because then the rest of the night, they tell everybody that eats at the restaurant for the rest of the night, you're all part of the extension of the siyum, which happened here like 5 in the afternoon, and then 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, they're serving meat to people who are like an extension of that siyum. I don't know if that's so kosher to do that. Really, it would be those people who were at the siyum. Generally, those are the ones considered part of the Sudas Mitzvah. Okay, thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.